Shoaib Bashir, the most ticklish person I've ever met in my life.
Just put the pasta in the pan and it starts popping like popcorn. I'm like, yeah, it's ready.
And then you shake your hand, you've got the longest fingers in the world.
I was bowling to Alastair Cook. I saw him the other day at Lord's and he goes, "Where's my commission?"
Hello and welcome to Under the Lid, the pro cricket show with me, Jack Brooks.
And me, Katherine Sciver-Brunt. As always, nearly forgot there, didn't you, Jack, that we were on? As always, this podcast is brought to you in partnership with the Cricketer and the PCA. Today we've got one of the hottest prospects in English cricket on the podcast today, and despite only being just out of his teenage years, we have so much we want to talk to him about and get under the lid with. So, England and Somerset spinner Shoaib Bashir, your mate, Jack.
I know, one of the great lads with a really fantastic story to tell as well. I'm looking forward to hearing all about his extremely busy 6 months or so that he's had. But before we get onto that, I think it would be remiss not to mention and talk about the sad passing of Graham Thorpe last week. It's been an extremely tough 10 days or so for the whole cricket family and the community within the game to hear about the tragic news of Graham's passing. And earlier this week, news was revealed exactly what he'd been battling with and what had happened. And his family really bravely have told their story about Graham's battle with major depression and anxiety before sadly taking his own life, which frankly is quite distressing. I know him personally. I didn't know him very well, but on my own cricketing journey, I was a massive fan of his. Obviously, growing up, he was one of the pin-ups of 90s cricket, which was what I'd grown up on. He was arguably England's best player in that period of time. He seemed to always be there involved when England managed to win games of cricket.
Yeah.
He had an image and he was just very consistent. And then to be coached by him in my first experience of an England setup when I was an England Lions player back in the day, about 2010, he was my first batting coach. So I was an absolute fanboy, to be honest with you, and to be coached by him and then go on tour with him and sit around a table with a beer and listen to his stories. I was just, wow. Like even as a bloke in his sort of mid to late 20s, I was a little bit starstruck at times. So personally, for me, it's been quite a horrible thing to think about and it's made me feel sick at times. And also now, since I've been involved at Surrey for this season and being around the likes of Alex Stewart and Adam Hollyoak and guys that knew him really well, it's been quite tough, to be honest. But no one's had it tougher than his own family and what he had to go through himself by the sound of things. But I just want to wish his family and everyone close to him, I hope they're doing as well as possible. I can't imagine what he would have been through, but the game of cricket does so much to support current and former players through the PCA, and this is a PCA podcast. So please, if you're listening and you've got any issues, any mental health issues at all, whether you be a player or anyone even just listening, please reach out. There's a number of amazing charities there as your starting point, and the hardest thing to do is to reach out in the first place. But the Samaritans are easily number one. If I call in 116 123, and please don't suffer in silence.
Yeah, the links for that will go up on the show. So if you can't remember that, it will just be there for you to remember. But I will stick to my happy memories of Graham, of watching him be tough as old boots in any situation with my brother, just watching this. Well, he should have been a Yorkshireman, well hard. Just well hard, wasn't he? Like, just stand in front of anything. No situation bothered him. And I loved that. And the stories, I'm jealous of that, Jack. They would have been unreal. So, just be happy for what we got. Just to meet him was a privilege. So, but you're absolutely right. Anybody suffering, please get in touch.
Exactly. Now, hopefully move on to something lighter now for the rest of the show. You have had quite a busy time of it the last few days. You haven't been knocking houses down so much. What else have you been up to?
Well, normally I knock them down, but this time I'm fixing it back up. So I popped up one of the properties that I do and had to screed a kitchen floor because they made a mess of it, and you can't lay a floor and it's all wonky. So pretty good at screeding now, guys. Self-leveling. See, Don't pay someone to do it when you can do it yourself. I've learnt all about that, so I've done that. And then obviously the commentary stuff is in full flow. I've actually taken on quite a lot in this 100. I've really enjoyed it. I normally do quite a lot of radio and the odd bit of TV, but I've done it the other way around this time, and I've actually really got into it and met loads of new people who haven't really had the chance to work with before. And got that tomorrow as well, actually, with Stuart Broad and Owen Morgan, so that should be pretty cool as well. So
Amazing.
really enjoying that. Unfortunately, it was on Sunday. I was at Old Trafford, and the game where Stokesy hurt his hamstring.
Ouchie.
And I've seen that whole scenario play out before. The way it happened, the way he held his leg, the way his face was, the way he was angry, how he got carried off, and it's just, it makes you feel a bit sick. And as now, he's out of this Sri Lanka series, so
yeah, we obviously found that out
news,
today.
big
Public
blow,
news
isn't
that
it?
he's going to be out for the rest of the summer. I just hope it's not a bad one in terms of long
6
months.
to 8 months, yeah. It definitely can be. It can be surgery or not, or it's a grade 1, 2, or 3, but that's not stuff we're privy to. But you just hope it's the least of the
And it
worries
must have
for
hurt
him.
him because he's a hard bloke and he needs to be carried off. So it must have been quite serious.
He knew. He was so off. He knew. You know when you're bad because you sort of foresee the rest of the season, don't you? Or all the rehab you're going to be doing, which is pants. So yeah, what have you been doing then? I'm guessing more babies and more coaching.
Yeah, pretty much the same as the last few weeks. The Metro Bank has been a really busy period. I think Surrey have had 8 games in 15 days or something. I've done most of them. And when I haven't been able to do them, I've been looking after my little boy at home when my partner's been at work. So getting the
Any new
work-life
talent
balance.
knocking about, Jack? Anything to be excited about?
So at Surrey, a couple of lads have made their debuts this competition. Ollie Sykes, who was Wisden School's Cricketer of the Year last year, he literally this summer has been given a rookie contract because he'd done really well in the second team. Left-handed batsman, top order batter.
Oh yeah, left-hander.
And he's come in and second game down at Chelmsford, he scored 80 odd not out of 50 odd balls, 5 sixes. I know it's a small ground, but he does hit a long ball.
I love it when all the lads are unavailable during the 100 and then suddenly you get loads of... I think there's one year with Yorkshire lost about 11 players very early on in the 100 and then went quite far in the tournament and beat Gloucester at home, I think.
Yeah, they got to semis that year,
so
I think.
many, unbelievable. So it can bring out the best in that pathway department, can't it? It's great.
It's opportunities. I think that's what it's there for. Some counties, obviously, you see it as a genuine chance to win a trophy. Other counties who lose multiple players, Surrey, Somerset, Yorkshire, etc., they still want to win it and think they can win it. But you're depleted, your experience, quality, and in a short period of time, it shows up what you're actually missing. But it does give glimpses into the future of potential superstars. Ollie Sykes could be a superstar of the future.
Absolutely.
And it gives opportunity to a couple of younger bowlers who wouldn't necessarily have had much time out in the middle. So yeah, there are benefits to it for sure. And it's been really interesting to be around as a coach. Obviously, you feel like you can add a lot of value. There's been good crowds playing at outgrounds, which has been interesting. It's just really busy. It's literally play, go home, day off, travel, play. It's mad. It's a crazy schedule, which we've talked about. But the competition is over now. So it's just effectively 2 weeks of a few training days and getting Surrey ready for a massive September of championship cricket, trying to win the three in a row. Second team have got 3 4-day games away from home, and they've got a T20 quarter-final and potential finals day. So there's still a lot of cricket going on. I've actually been with Saka today, the South Asian Cricket Academy down at Northampton, and I'll be there again with them tomorrow. So I'm getting my fill of coaching at the minute, which is top drury. That is it from us for this week. Tune in next week. And remember, you can send in any feedback or questions to us at hello@underthelid.co.uk or use the hashtag #underthelid. Please do fire any feedback, questions, or anything in general that you've got for us. Now then, what do we know about the guest this week, Brunty? I'm excited to get him on.
Yes. What do we know about Bash? Shoaib Bashir. Well, he's one of the fastest rising stars in English cricket, arguably, and despite having played literally just 31 professional matches in his career, he's already seen as one of England's leading test spinners after a mental introduction by none other than the Ben Stokes and probably Baz as well in their like partnership about it. So yeah, it's mental, and I bet he thinks it's mental too.
Well, I've been speaking to him a bit since, and I was obviously playing with him for a season last year, and we carried on chatting through the winter and told him, if you have a good winter in the Lions, going to India, you never know, you could go as a third spinner, you could get a tour out of it. And he ends up being England's main spinner, and now he's come back and he's number one in England as well.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to speak to him. I haven't had loads of in-depth chats with him, only seen him a couple of times. But I can't wait to talk all about it and obviously hear about how great I was for him last year when we just had to share the changing room together. So let's get under the lid with our man of the moment, Shoaib Bashir.
Hello, guys.
Say less.
Lovely.
I felt like I was going to walk into a boxing ring there with that intro.
Are you hyped? I'm your hype man.
Yeah, fully.
Should have had some music behind that, shouldn't
Walk on music. What's your walk on tune?
Probably Stormzy or something.
Oh yeah, nice.
Just repping in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a proper hype man, actually. I'm pretty sure he's done that before. Yeah, good choice.
He's done it for Anthony Joshua, hasn't
he? Yeah, he's good. He's good. How are we doing?
Yeah, great. Well, to be fair, what place to start? Let's talk about recent events. Your tour against the West Indies. Well, they came here, obviously, and I actually got the pleasure of watching most of that. So, finding myself working in and out of the men's test matches, so I got some first-hand front row seats. So I was very happy with that, especially as good old Jimmy left. So, and you were part of some of his career, which is great too. So, how did you feel about playing on home soil and your experience for that the first time in your international career?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, to be fair. Like, first home test at Lord's, and it being Jimmy's last, it was pretty surreal. We knew it was going to be a packed crowd, so I didn't end up bowling a ball, but it was class.
That was crazy. That you didn't run him out, did you? What was the batting situation? Didn't face a ball, did he?
No, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't face the ball. But no, it was crazy.
Meant to be.
Yeah, meant to be at Lords. And then Jimmy dropped one, caught and bowled off his own bowling. That would have been a perfect way to end, but it wasn't to be.
It summed it up for me. Well, less about Jimmy, more about you and your fifer at Trent Bridge. How did you feel about that? Did it just coming out sweet? You knew it was going to happen, or to work hard for it?
Not at all. Never.
Never.
The wicket was pretty flat over the course of the 3 days, and just went into that session knowing that we don't want to come back tomorrow. But they got off to a decent start in their second innings. I think they were like 60 odd for one, and then I came onto bowl and all of a sudden it just started ragging. Thought I was back in India again.
No, that's just you.
Just me, standard, yeah. But nah, it was crazy. And then for it to start spinning like that, I was licking my lips because you don't really get that in England. So
and then Ben's thinking 20 over spell for you, mate.
Plug him in.
Yeah, plug him in.
Plug him in. He made 31 overs in India.
Yeah, thanks for that. Do you? But like, obviously, for me, that would be absolute hell for a seamer. But for yourself, how is just rocking out 20 odd overs in a row feel like?
It does get a lot, but like I think I used to cramp quite a bit. So yeah, pickle juice. Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah, I used to cramp quite a bit. So on the body, it's actually all right. It's just making sure you eat enough like carbs and stuff to keep going.
Yeah, especially when you're touring abroad and we're just not used to the heat. Like it saps you pretty quick, doesn't it? And you forget, because before games start, I used to not be hungry at all. I used to like force feed myself. Because either it's hot or it's just early and you're just not that up for it, or you're nervous. But yeah, it's a tricky one. That new carb powder is actually brilliant.
Pretty decent, yeah. It's good.
Yeah, give you that.
Yeah, I keep down like 5 of them.
You can't have your mum's home cooked food when you're away, can you?
Oh no, I can't. I missed that too much.
His when he came back to Taunton, Brunty, after being back in his family home in Surrey, he'd come back with tubs of food that his mum had made for him and just go and shove them in the fridge and the freezer.
Yeah, poor lad's only 20. I mean,
Yeah, living away from home, like, come on.
Sophia Dunkley couldn't boil an egg till she was 23. I had to cook for her when she came to uni. She's absolutely useless, so I'm not surprised. At least you got some proper grub then. Could have been making yourself beans on toast or
What
all
about
that crap you have.
your pasta story, Bash, when you were in Sydney?
Oh, that was too funny. I didn't know how to boil pasta. So first time I did it, put it on a pan and just put the pasta on the pan, thinking that it's going to cook, and it starts popping like popcorn. I'm like, yeah, it's ready. Oh, that was crazy. Good experience.
As long as you learn from your
I
mistakes.
can't believe you told anyone that. That's brilliant.
Good crack.
Anyway, the rest of the summer, obviously got Sri Lanka series coming up. What's your personal aims in that?
To be honest, I don't really set aims. Just go into it thinking I want to obviously perform my best. If it happens, great. If not, that's also fine. I know that I'm pretty young, so I just trust God with what He's got, really, and go into it pretty clear-minded. I don't like to think too much about stuff like this because I've hit a lot of like rock bottom moments in my life, and also pretty high moments as well. So I know that I just want to stay a bit level going into stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good, mate. That's a great way to think of it, especially at such a young age as well. Probably play your most free cricket that way too. Without Ben being there, obviously, a bit of a shock. And being under Ollie, I imagine now. Is that going to affect you in any way? I wonder. It feels like he's taken you under his wing a bit. Has he been a bit of a brother to you and made you feel like pretty great about your cricket?
Yeah, massively. He's literally my right hand man on the field. I feel like I can do anything with him on the field, so him missing out would be quite huge for me. But I'm sure Popey's a good lad as well. Obviously, he's new into his new role as vice captain as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he operates and how it works.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll
You'll be
speak to
fine,
you.
mate.
Yeah, he'll speak to him, sort you out.
The environment runs itself in a way, doesn't it? It's I know he's such a kingpin, but the way you've been bowling, mate. What's it like at 20 years old in your second year of professional cricket? Suddenly, I mean, I'm sure it hasn't really sunk in, knowing you as well as I do, and how chilled and laid back and how you take things on. Like, you are England's #1 Test spin bowler at the minute. What's that like?
Now that you say it like that, it's mad. Yeah, just still soaking everything in. To be honest, like I only made my debut at the start of the year, and yeah, I know things are happening pretty quickly, but I think, as you say, I'm only 20, and things have happened to me very quickly. So still processing things, but like still enjoying the journey because my journey's been pretty mad.
Well, that's what I wanted to touch on, because a lot of our listeners or people tuning into this particular episode might be desperate to hear a bit more about your background and route into the game. And I still look back to, because I didn't play in those twos games where the lads came up against you and Steve Davis kept you, I think, in your first trial game for our second team. Literally, I think you might have only played one. And he basically went straight to the coaches. Bearing in mind, Steve's a legend of the game, an ex-England wicketkeeper, and he was like, "We have to sign this kid. We have to sign this guy. Is proper." And I remember you come into a championship game bowling in the nets in the morning, didn't you?
Yeah.
And everyone just kept going over to you and shaking around at like different times and saying, "Oh, nice to meet you, mate." Because we all just like heard about this young gun spinner that we're going to sign, and everyone's just watching you bowl during the warm-ups and was like, "Yeah, he looks all right, this lad." And then you shake your hand, and you've got the longest fingers in the world. You're just like, "Okay, yeah." So this is how he wraps it round very well. So talk to us, mate, about your journey from Surrey, and now I'm obviously at Surrey and working with the two young spinners that I guess you couldn't get ahead of in age group cricket or academy cricket, and Tommy Elam and Yusuf Majid, who were both, top performers in their own right. And how your route out of the game and back in again. Can you tell us exactly what happened in that time frame?
Yeah, look, I started at Surrey probably when I was 9 years old, and I was part of the setup from 9 till I was 17. So I was in and around the guys for quite a long time. So as you're saying, like Ollie Sykes and Adam Thomas and Yusuf Majid, Tommy Edom, they're all my mates.
All your brothers.
Well, yeah, all my brothers who I used to play with back in the days. So yeah, just when I hit 17, I think I remember going to a coffee shop with one of the coaches, and they told me that I probably wasn't good enough. And yeah, they were gonna sort of release me, and they gave me a few work-ons. And yeah, they just said I wasn't really good enough. And I think at that point it was rock bottom, because all I ever wanted to do was play cricket. I wasn't keen in my studies either.
Who is?
Exactly. So yeah, and then I decided that I'll join Berkshire. I'll try like Middlesex, and see what happens. And then that year I think I made some of my closest mates at Berkshire as well. And I happened to really enjoy my cricket, even though I probably wasn't playing the standard I wanted to. But then again, the standard was pretty good. We played quite a few teams. We played Somerset in that, in a plate quarter final, and yeah, just the way I got to Somerset was mad, because I took 5 wickets travelling from Berkshire to Somerset. We played at Wells. I took 5 wickets, and one of the academy coaches saw me there and just offered me a game at Guildford, which is my club cricket. That's where I played all my cricket, and I was like, of course I'll play that against Surrey as well. So Berkshire, I was playing Somerset versus Surrey, and I knew all the guys. And yeah, that happened to be rain delayed, and then there was only one more second team game for the end of the season. And I remember Greg Kennis messaging me saying, "Do you want to come down?" And I was like, "Of course, I'll come down," because I think a week after that I was going to go to Australia. So I was just like, I'll give it a crack, and then happened to take 5 wickets there. And yeah, Steve Davis, as you said, he was behind the stumps, and yeah, just told me to come down and bowl against Northants. So that's where I met you for the first time, Brooksy boy.
Big time, Daddy.
Yeah.
It's mad. Yeah, it's absolutely mad to hear about this crazy. And like you said, you were rock bottom. You were 17 with your heart broken, your dream shattered, I guess. And you're like, well, what do I do now? To see you now in the space of less than 2 years, or effectively 2 years, I think it's been. You'd never have dreamt it in a million years, would you?
No, not at all. That's the thing. Like, things happen so quickly, and I didn't realise that at the time. But it's crazy. I think,
arguably, and sorry to interrupt, but surely it's almost a blessing that you actually left Surrey, where you would have had competition. You potentially wouldn't have had the opportunities you've had at Somerset in terms of certainly second team cricket. And then, when Leach is away, you're suddenly, oh, Bash, by the way, you're playing Champo cricket now. Go out there, and good luck to you.
Yeah, 100%. As you say, like, if I stuck with Surrey, I didn't know where I might be. So yeah, as you say, it is a blessing under disguise. And I think that's the thing. Like, when you hit rock bottom and you really want something, you'll probably work hard for it. And yeah, I knew what I wanted at the time. So yeah, I put my mind to it, and yeah, just closed my eyes, and here I am.
Who's been a big help and influence for you at Somerset? Because obviously you moved away from home as well. You had that winter in Australia where you learned how to cook pasta and bowl. And then you moved to Taunton, where you pretty much hadn't spent any time with anyone because you went straight to Australia once you got your contract. And you're away from home again, like after an extended winter. Like, what was it all a bit like tough for you when you first moved to Taunton? What was that environment like? Obviously, I was part of it, but what was it like for you?
Yeah, to be honest, I've not really been to Somerset before. I didn't really know where it was. Which is bad, actually. But yeah, I remember moving in into the flats on the ground, and moved in with Alfie Ogborn, Sonny Baker, and Andy Mead, who was on the podcast. the other day. And yeah, just we got on really well. I remember I came into the flats for the first time, and Sonny had like tubware, and he was cooking food for like, it seemed like he was cooking food for like 2 months. It was crazy. It was everywhere, and then like he didn't wash his dishes either. I woke up
Was
the
he
next
shredding? Was he shredding?
Crap bloke.
I don't know what he was doing. And then I remember waking up the next morning, like first morning at the ground, and I had no dishes to put my breakfast in. Oh, this could be tough.
Oh dear!
Selfish
Did you
roommates.
get a really good delivery or Uber Eats account by then?
You don't get delivery in Taunton, Katherine.
You not? You don't
No.
get nothing, do you?
There's a bit of
20 years
Uber Eats,
behind.
but yeah, it's very average.
Yeah, just
Very,
ring them
very
up
average.
and tell them to get on their cycle.
We got senior players like me breathing down your neck as well, kick up the arse and take you under their wing. Exactly. That's a sink or swim, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I knew Steve Davis as well. So you guys, I remember one of the first times you tickled me. Do you remember?
Oh, by the way, Shoaib Bashir, the most ticklish person I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Oh no, you set everyone off now.
Yeah, and I hate it.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
I literally touched him like that as I walked past him, like little touch on the ribs, and he nearly jumped off the balcony. He crumpled in a heap on the floor.
You know, I did that to my sister. The sides like that.
Yeah,
and she hit me. That's the reaction now.
Bash wouldn't dare. He's not a violent man. He doesn't choose violence. But when you see Bash at an international game next Brunty, walk around the boundary, just go and give him a little tickle under the arm. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, nice. Hopefully I don't get a swipe.
What's your relationship like with Leachy, mate? Obviously, he's going to be a bit of a mentor for you from a spin department, and you've toured with him for England. You get to play county cricket with him now and again, and now it's not awkward because I know you're both great blokes and you're happy for each other. But what's it like having him in your team, in your corner?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think the perception is that we probably hate each other, but no, honestly, we're one of the closest like friendships in the changing room. Like we get on really, really well. He offers me advice whenever, always with me all the time. Like we go to coffees, lunches together. He's actually a legend. And yeah, like we get on really, really well. And I can see, to be fair, why people think we hate each other, but it's not like that at all. Like I remember, obviously, I got in the team and Leachy was left out, and he actually came up to me and told me how happy he was for me, but obviously how disappointed he was as well. So yeah, our friendship works both ways. Like we understand each other's emotions really well, which is awesome. And yeah, he's actually a legend.
That's so nice.
He is a top guy.
Feel a bit sick. That's so nice. I meant teary. Go back to where you said at 17 you had that coffee at sit down, and you said, as it would anyone, spur you on to be like, no, this is not my path. I'm gonna make this better. What changes did you actually put in place, if any? Was it technical? Was it just mental, physical, whatever? What did you actually put in place? And was it over a short period of time or up until your England debut?
To be honest, I think it was both mental and physical. My fitness wasn't great at the time, and I knew my fielding wasn't up to a standard which I thought I could be at. So between then and when I wanted to join Middlesex and Berkshire, I put in a lot of work. I got a gym membership.
You're hench now, bruv, aren't you?
Yeah, not at all. I only bowl off spin. But no, yeah, I remember having to do these things, and I used to go on runs, 5K, 2K. I knew, yeah, I know, and then I knew I had to change myself if I wanted to at least be a professional cricketer. And as I say, like I'm still learning that. I'm still young. I'm still trying to work on my fitness and improve my mental aspect of the game as well, because I know cricket can be tough, especially with the schedule. So it can be tough, and you go through games where you don't perform, and then 2 games later you do perform. I think a great example of that was when I'm not sure if you saw, but I got hit for 38 in 1 over, and then
Yep.
and then
Jack.
Yeah, we saw that.
and then the next game, I took 5 wickets for England. Like, it happens
Yeah.
very, very quickly. So you get over things very quickly. And I think back then, if that happened, I would be at a worse stage than if it happened now. So
Yeah. Well, do you know what? The last thing you needed after getting hit for 38 was to not get selected in that next game for England. This is how I think this new management or whatever perspective. I can't remember the word. Way of doing things within the England setup is that, like, there's just this massive belief in everyone, no matter what happens, and that it's just the next. We're here for you, no matter what. Like, there's no wrong decisions. Like, and then you can play with so much freedom in that way and not worry about, I better get a wicket today, or else, I'm tomorrow. You can just relax and play the way you've always played, like, without fear or expectation. Like, and I imagine that's how they make you feel there.
yeah, exactly. There's no pressure to perform. Obviously, that's the whole point of why you're in England. You need to perform, but like, you don't ever think about it like that. Just the way the management is with England. It's all about going out there and expressing yourself. And I think the main thing is enjoying it, because if you're not enjoying playing for your country, then I don't
What's the
think
point?
what's the point? I don't think you'll get the best out of yourself. So yeah, I really enjoy the management. I think the way the team's run is awesome. And yeah, just excited for the new. Well, see what Popey does.
Yeah, man. Have you
Come on,
just on like enjoying it? I've got like, have you managed to take a second, like either at the top of your mark or when you've been at mid on or fine leg, wherever you've been fielding, or even when you've been batting? Have you managed to take a moment and sort of just take a breath and look around and go, "Wow, like I'm here doing this right now"?
I think I had a moment of that when we were at Edgbaston, and I was fielding in front of the Hollies.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and then I remember like looking back, and I was like, "Oh my God! Like, these guys are supporting us. Like, it's crazy." That's only half the
Singing your
ground.
name.
Like, it's the other side of the ground as well. But yeah, no, I think that's one moment where I think I'll cherish, because that was sick.
Barmy Army can do bits for you, can't they?
Right, so we
Have they got a song for you?
Nah, not yet. I
not
want
yet.
them to pull out something out of the book.
Yeah, this one, Sri Lanka tour. Barmy Army's listening. Get on that, please. Right, so we've got a little video to play for you. Oh yeah, lovely line and length that was. How grateful are you for the county championship social media account? Because I believe this is where you were pretty much picked up by Ben Stokes, was it?
Yeah, that's where I was found, I think. Yeah, that was on my debut where I was bowling to Alastair Cook.
Yeah, nice. None
Yeah, I
other
didn't get
than
him out, but like I remember bowling like my first over. I think I beat him on the outside edge twice. And yeah, I wasn't expect. Like, I'm not really on. I am on social media, but I don't really watch stuff like that. And I remember getting shown this video of me bowling to Alastair Cook, and I think it went viral. And yeah, thank you for that, by the way. County Championship.
So it's the first time I've seen it actually, but I love that because the power of social media now, isn't it? It's mad that that's how you were pretty much seen and brought in so quickly. Like, that's great. Well, it's the best tool basically to use, isn't it? I mean, we use footage all the time now, so why not spray it all over the internet? Someone would definitely like to have seen you make Alastair Cook not hit it off a square. That was nice. It's always nice, isn't it?
England's
Legend.
greatest player, or one of the greatest players that they've got. He must have an influence. He
Well,
must have said to Stokes as well, like, this guy's real deal. Take him to India.
I saw him the other day at Lords, and he goes, "Where's my commission?"
Quality.
It's a good chat.
go on, Jack. What do you want to say about the last 8-9 months?
Yeah. Okay, going back to the India tour, mate. Obviously, what a start to your career. Like, I know that we spoke sort of just as mates really before that. I told you, like, honestly, if you do well in the Lions, you could go on that trip. That's how things work. It can move very quickly. So how was it? How was India for you, mate? Like generally, as the whole picture, how was it?
To be fair, like it was a weird experience because obviously at the start I didn't get my visa, and yeah, I didn't really know what was going on. Like it was my first tour, and we went to Abu Dhabi, and then the boys went out to India, and I was just stuck in Abu Dhabi and didn't really know what was going on. Like I knew that I also applied for my visa before that, but like I thought I'd be going with the team, and that didn't happen. So I had to fly back into London to pick up my visa for for me to fly back into India, and I didn't really know what was happening. But yeah, it was. I think that was crazy because that also blew up social media and whatnot. And then yeah, I ended up missing that first test because of it. So I think it sparked a bit of outrage for the guys, and then yeah, when I did make my debut in the second test, for me to get Rohit Sharma out was just, incredible.
That's so big.
Yeah, it's like one
Well,
of the,
most popular man in India, I would have thought at this moment in time.
yeah, probably after Kohli.
Well, I don't know at that point. Like, just he was huge. I remember being so huge.
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember bowling to him like, oh my god, this guy could literally part me out of the ground here. But he didn't. You know, he faced like 40 odd deliveries and
Respect.
strangled him down leg side.
Nah, it was a trap, mate. You got a fielder there for a reason, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Trap. The whole visa debacle. How did you find it, like, mentally, emotionally for you? Was it just like, oh god, like I'm so frustrated because I can't control this, or was it like, I can't get my head around it? Like, how did it make you feel? Like, was you all right with it?
Yeah, to be honest, I was fine with it up until I found out that I won't be involved in that first test because I really wanted to be there the whole way through. But yeah, I think mentally I was fine with that. Like, obviously, me being from Pakistani heritage, there's obviously those issues going on, and yeah, just it was a bit annoying, but at least I got to go to Hyderabad and watch England win that first test. So
Big time.
Yeah,
Potentially going to win the series at that point as well. Who on and off field, who's been massive influences for you since India onwards? I know you're pretty close with your family, but your dad isn't a cricketer himself, is he?
No, my uncle is, yeah.
But your uncle, I know, is a big influence. Is it? Would you say that they're still your biggest influences?
Yeah, I think so. So my uncle, my brother, my dad, obviously my mum. I think my whole family. I think biggest influences, like they from a young age they used to organise everything. Used to get me kit. Used to take me to games. Used to travel like 2.5 hours just to take me to a game. And yeah, just I think they're like my support network now, and I always go back to them when things are a bit tough. I think they have a massive influence on me still, and obviously like teammates as well. Like I think sometimes you get caught up in a lot of like mental struggles and on the pitch when you're not performing, and I think just hanging around with teammates, going out for dinner, I think that's important. So yeah, I think having a close relationship with the guys you play with is massive.
Did you manage to get your parents or family to any of the test matches this summer?
Yeah, they came to all of them.
Wicked.
Yeah.
That must have been amazing for them, mate. What an experience.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, got him to Lords, got him to Edgbaston. I think they love them two the most.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Atmosphere's quality in those ones. Back in India, the spin trio of you, Rehan Ahmed, Tom Hartley. What was it like as a three? Were you just helping each out all the time? Friendly competition? I bet it was good fun because you're all quite young and your first tour as well. It must have been pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was. They're good lads. The first time I met all three of them. All three of them, both of them. And yeah, just I think I didn't really see it as competition at all. I was just happy to be there. To be honest, like, I was just soaking it all in. Like, and then we got me, Rehan, and Hartley, and then on the other side you got Kuldeep, Ashwin, and Jadeja. So yeah, we were just like talking to each other. We're like, we're gonna outbowl these guys.
Class.
They've been playing cricket for ages, and we just started. Let's show them what we can do, and yeah, it was crazy. They're good, really good lads, and yeah, I really enjoyed playing with them.
Did you get to talk the Indian spinners much? Either, probably not during the series. They don't want to give too many secrets away. But at the end of the series, did any of them give you any tips, or do you able to sit there and just talk cricket with them?
Not really. I spoke to Kuldeep a little bit about bowling, but Jadeja and Ashwin, I think they were part to his side a little bit. But yeah, no, Kuldeep was a legend.
Nice.
He didn't really say much about his bowling, but just life in general. And we talk about the IPL and how like straight after the
His
series,
hair products.
yeah, but he makes what's it, a perm or something in his hair.
I love it. I love it.
Get the perm out for the Sri Lanka series, mate. That'd be lovely.
And then his advice on my beard. So how do I grow one?
What? Beard advice.
Funny. It's needed. It's only 20. Right. So we'll talk about South Asian Heritage Month as we're in it. And we had your housemate. Did you say housemate, Andy Ameed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there 4 of you in that house? I mean, absolutely wild / gross.
It's definitely not wild with those 4 blokes. I'll tell you that.
Boring.
Just sat around listening to Andy on guitar playing Kumbaya, basically.
And so obviously we had him on the pod, and who had his unique take on what that means to him, and everybody's different, obviously. What does your South Asian heritage mean to you?
Yeah, look, I think I was brought up around a lot of South Asians growing up, and I'm from Woking, and that's quite a diverse community. And yeah, like even playing cricket, I was brought up around Pakistanis mainly and Indians, and yeah, I think the culture makes it. I'm a part of the culture. My mum and dad are Pakistani as well, and yeah, I love my heritage because I think that makes me me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it should be celebrated, especially with what's going on in the world currently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And so your family background, obviously, you've just said, and how do you think that's impacted your values, like as a person growing up, and the character you have in life in general?
Yeah, look, I think sometimes people say that, well, not nice things about me, obviously being Pakistani as well as being born in England, and you hear people commenting on things that aren't very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think we got to understand that I'm British, and I do belong here, and this is also my country as well as theirs. So yeah, just
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn straight.
Yeah, I mean, and that can only make you stronger. I mean, I imagine, was it worse back then when you were growing up, or do you experience that now playing for England, or do you feel that it's quite a nice environment to be in?
To be honest, I haven't really experienced much personally, but just with what's going on in the world, it's not nice.
No.
And yeah, I think it's just you just got to have courage with those people who are suffering, because, as I said, it's not nice, and it's not a place, it's not a community that we want to live in. So
No, that's fair. Are you looking forward to the Pakistan tour? Do you have any family back then, or does everybody live in England, or are you just really happy to go and just be there? Will your family travel with you?
yeah, my family will come up. I do have like aunties, uncles up north in the northern side of Kashmir, which
Nice.
is home for us. So yeah, really looking forward to Pakistan. I haven't been there in 8 years.
Oh wow!
Wow, that'd be
So
special.
yeah, I am looking forward to going back there.
Yeah, nice one. Sounds great. I've actually never been able to travel to Pakistan, unfortunately. I wish I could have. And they are now more often. There's the Super League there, so there's the Caribbean Super League and the Pakistan Super League, and the girls get to visit there now, and a mate actually, Alex Hartley, was part of the coaching staff.
I think that was like
The
Multan.
Multan Sultans, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've never been to Bangladesh either, so yeah, it's a real shame. But yeah, it's just one of
Yeah.
those things, isn't it? But these things will get better.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad
Definitely.
that cricket's coming back to Pakistan as well. Obviously,
Yeah,
after what happened back then with Sri Lanka going there,
yeah.
I'm glad it's sorted itself out now, and yeah, I'm really excited to get there.
Yeah, I've only ever heard great things, so I can't wait for the girls to be able to experience it, because the Pakistani girls are always saying to us, please, please, come and tour Pakistan. We're like, we want to.
Yeah, there's a love
It's
for cricket out there,
difficult.
isn't there? Massive love for it.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you see yourself, Bash, now as an England player? Do you feel any pressure or any duty as a role model for other young British Asians, or even, like you say, to having a positive effect on either it be local community or globally?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, being someone who's had a bit of success in cricket and being from Pakistani background, I feel like I do have a role to influence younger guys to take up the sport. And yeah, I think, as you say, like yeah, I do want to act as a role model for them, and wanting to get them into the sport, because without that, we won't have a diverse cricketing community, you know. So I think, yeah, it's important.
100%, mate. Awesome. Have you had any? Have you been inundated with youngsters or people getting in touch about, can you help, or how can I do this? How can I do that?
Not so much now, but I did before when I first played for England
Wow.
in India. A lot of, like, I think Indians were messaging me. It's crazy.
Wicked. Love that. They must be doing something right if the Indian fans are all over you, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Probably after I got shot Sharma
Yeah, now they hated you after that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, because the PCA started a bit of an initiative this summer with providing members who wanted them prayer mats. Now, I know that you were one of the professional cricketers who decided to take up the offer of one of these. What does, for those who wouldn't know anything about the prayer mat exactly, what does it mean to you, and how personal is it?
Yeah, look, as a practicing Muslim, we pray 5 times a day on a prayer mat. So I got the offer to have one, so I did take one, and I normally take it when we travel a lot in the UK. So I normally take it when we travel. So yeah, I think that's a great initiative from the PCA, because yeah, it's very helpful for me being a religious man. So yeah, thank you, PCA.
Well, this is a PCA pod, and it's doing great things. So if you're benefiting, mate, that's fantastic. Someone in your limelight for you. So that's brilliant. Moving on to when back in sort of domestic cricket again. So you're out on loan, and you're an international cricketer. Somerset weren't picking you. That's obviously very frustrating for you. How did the conversation sort of play out with you asking for getting a loan move? Was it you going, look, I need to play cricket, or was it them saying, actually, it's best that you maybe go out and have a couple of games just to keep ticking over? How did it work out for you personally, that situation?
Yeah, look, I had a few conversations, and we came to the conclusion that I probably wasn't going to play ahead of Leachy in those championship games. So yeah, I did ask to go on loan, and yeah, I went on loan to Worcester. And I think, yeah, those conversations were pretty straightforward, because obviously I'd played for England at that point, and I think the guys knew that I wanted to have some game time. So I think, yeah, it was pretty easy. And then luckily I got offered to come on T20 loan as well with Worcester. So that was quite nice. That was a bit of a bonus, because I didn't really ask for that. It just came up.
Classmate. Well, you went away. You actually didn't have it easy either, but you still came back and ticked over international cricket as if it was easy for you. So that must have benefited you, even if the game doesn't go well itself. And it's a learning, isn't it? At your age, you're going to be doing learnings all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
quickly before we move on to various segments of the show, which obviously you listen to and you know all about. Life away from cricket. Shoaib Bashir. What sports are you into? Have you got any other interests away from cricket? What do you do to escape from it?
I don't play golf, if that was what you're going to ask.
No, it wasn't actually. It wasn't anything golf related.
No, I don't play golf. A lot of the England boys play all the time, to be fair.
I've seen you play football. Well, that's entertaining. You're a decent right back.
Yeah, I don't have a foot, I have a shin in football. To be fair, I've not really been an all sport kind of guy. Just been playing cricket growing up, and I love getting around my mates, and that's me. Yeah,
cooking, decent in the kitchen, aren't you?
Not quite.
Stop it.
Maybe we should have cooking with Bash as a segment on here one time.
Oh, that'll get a few views. That.
So we'll quickly roll on. We'll come back to you in a sec, Bash. We'll quickly roll on to PCA MVP update in the men's game. The Metro Bank One Day Cup and the 100 are almost, they're getting to the last stages of it. At the time of recording, the 50 over competition, two of your teammates, Bash, Lewis Goldsworthy and Jack Leach, are pushing Ed Barnard at the top of the rankings. In the men's 100, Sam Curran has taken a significant lead following some frankly amazing match-win performances. He included a hat-trick and a 50 in the same game, I believe, in the 100. Ben Duckett and James Vince are chasing him down going into the final games, though. Bash, you finished 5th during the Winter Tests MVP. How are you going to chip in, getting up higher up? Do you need to score more runs? How do you need to get up higher up that lead? You going to be an all-rounder or what?
Yes, I think score 100, batting at 11. It's on the cards.
Hey, if one man can. The way you can strike the ball now, bear in mind you couldn't hit it off the square at the beginning of last summer. By the end of it, you're whacking Liam Dawson into the stands down at Taunton, top drawer.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening in the women's game, Katherine?
Well, there's no 50 over Metro Bank going off, just the 100. So obviously, my better half Natalie is dominating that at the minute, and has from the start. To be fair, it's been between Nat, Elise Perry, and Annabelle Sutherland. So I'm very keen on her not letting a filthy Aussie take that title away, and obviously bring home a tidy 5 Gs. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Get another house for that, can't you?
Not quite, maybe a Rolex. So that would be nice. And actually, she just went from 1 to 2 this morning when the Superchargers played Spirit. So it's knocked the Superchargers out. But I think she probably just need I think she's got the last game tomorrow. She needs 20 runs probably to get MVP back. Mm-hmm. But she actually needs 33 runs to get the first 1,000 runs in the 100 comp. I think it goes Nat, Duckett, Danny Wyatt, Vince. So she needs 33 to get that milestone.
Just knock them off.
I think she didn't know that this morning. I did that on purpose. Don't you get out?
You can't just
get out 31. That's it.
I'll be looking out closely for that now then. Right. Cricket Archive guest stat alert. We've got a siren for you, Bash. There it is. Bash, interesting stat. Remarkably, you don't have a 5-wicket haul in county cricket. But in test matches, you've got 3 in 6 games. So you're taking a mick out of international cricket. You're just not bothered with county cricket, yeah? I actually played in the county game where you got your best figures of 3 for 67 against Hampshire last year down at Taunton on a helpful surface, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was ragged.
What do you put those stats down to? The fact that you haven't played enough county cricket, or that conditions don't suit spin, or is it just the fact that you're a gun international and you're just suited to test cricket?
I think that wicket helped quite a bit. But I haven't really had many pitches in Taunton that have spun. I think that might be a factor. Again, I haven't played that much first class cricket as well. So there's probably 2 factors that probably mean that I haven't performed as well as I probably could have.
Let's get some more helpful spin pitches, get some better quality of spin being produced so we can go for India and beat their asses.
For once. Just once. Anyway, I hope you've been teed up for this because, this takes some thought. But every week we ask our guest to share one thing with us that hopefully not many people in this world know about you. It can be a range of things. We've had a tattoo on the ass of Ben Duckett, I think, haven't we? We've had a DJ in Sam Cook. Also has a black book of people he's got out. And a tally, which is pretty cool. What else have we had? People play guitar. Can be anything. Hopefully not too boring.
Pet pig.
Yeah, owning a pet pig.
Is this just a story or what?
Well, if you want to spin it into a story, mate, we haven't got all night, but
have you got your nipple pierced? You could share some with us about someone else. Maybe that was, you had 4 housemates.
He's a good singer.
I was going to say the pasta story, but we'll move from there.
Sorry, I've stitched you up.
But I got hit in the face with a cricket ball by Tom Laws because I was catching the ball like this.
Oh no, that's a big hole.
Poor
yeah, big hole. And then I knocked all my teeth out.
Really?
Yeah. So the front 4 teeth and the top.
Fake gnashes, or they've just put back in?
No, so they got knocked back. So luckily, the roots of them stayed in.
God, mate, that's painful.
And then the dentist just put her hand in her mouth and then just.
Oh God, makes me sick thinking about it.
Oh, it was like torture.
Yeah, it was so painful.
That is rank.
And it was a Tom Laws as well in a club game. And we were both not professional cricketers, so.
Oh God, mate.
That's the story.
I'm not quite sure what to say about it. Well, it's past dinner time now. It's gonna be sick everywhere. Oh well, that was actually a pretty good one. Was that our best one?
Well, it's disgusting.
I think the graphicness of the pulling them back did it for me. Whoa!
Wow, I didn't know that, mate. At least you learned how to catch now. After all, use those fingers. Yeah, you use them properly. Get them together, not apart.
Oh, wait, I can't even remember how to field.
It's not like that.
It's not like that. Anyway, right. Let's move on to the last round. You'll be happy to know this is the last thing we do before we let you go because it's getting pretty late. So the scores on the board, as you can see there, 0 runs. And you get 1 run for every correct question that you answer. It will be stuff that you know, so we're not trying to do you over and give you dodgy general knowledge because I hate school just as much as you. We've got some people in the lead, haven't we, Jack? I cannot remember who they are.
Yeah, Tammy Beaumont, last week's great guest. She's gone top of the league with 9.
Badger.
Yeah, and Harry Brook is joint second on 8 with Hannah Dolby and Katherine Bryce. But just for info for you, mate, Andrew Mead's on 7 and 2 of your England mates are on 4. So you can go and give them a bit of stick if you beat 4.
If you don't know, pass.
It's quick fire, so please just pass rather than go, don't know. And we'll get another question out to you, mate. So we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. Which bowler dismissed you in the second innings on your Test debut?
Yadav?
No. Who did you surpass to become the youngest Englishman to take a Test 5 for England?
Pass.
Jimmy.
Which Somerset teammate of yours won the Cinch PCA Men's Young Player of the Year last year?
James Reed.
Yes.
How many wickets did you take during the India tour?
17.
Yes.
When did Somerset win their first T20 Blast title?
Last year?
No.
Nope. What is your highest FC score, first class, with the bat?
44, not out.
Yes.
How many Instagram followers do you have currently?
12.9.
That's enough.
Yes, we'll give you that. Oh, me. Against whom did you make your professional debut for Somerset?
Essex.
No.
No, it says Hampshire. Which Formula 1 team has its headquarters in Woking?
McLaren.
Yes.
At which venue, and I'll continue, I'll start so I'll finish. At which venue did you pick your career best match figures of 8 for 198? Which venue?
Which venue did I...
Or
I've got enough time for this one.
Yeah, it's no rush. Which city?
Yeah.
Which venue?
Yeah, I was going to say which city.
8-4.
198.
198.
Which city was it in, mate?
That was in.
Career best.
You remember where it was? You remember when you played cricket in India?
I'm trying to. Is it Dharamshala?
No. I
Ranchi.
love Dharamshala.
Oh, the Ranchi.
Yeah.
Mm.
You not remember?
No,
Not that memorable.
Yeah.
Just
Also, can we
so you
double
know,
check that on your professional debut?
it was Hampshire. I thought you said county championship debut. It was
There we go.
Hampshire. I made my T20 debut at Hampshire.
oh, you would have got that right.
Yeah, I would have.
But we said professional. We didn't. The question stumped him a
Well,
little bit. You got 5, mate. So you've beaten Popey and Duckett. So feel free to take the mick out of them.
Yeah, I will do.
nice.
And
Lush.
that, mate, is about it. You well done on your Instagram followers. You're obviously a keen social media nut, more than you say you are. Where else did you beat? Jimmy Anderson's 5 for record, and Mukesh Kumar dismissed you in your Test debut, second innings.
Okay, yeah.
You've obviously forgotten all about it, just much like most of the series. So,
Yeah.
mate, Bashi, absolutely love you for coming on, mate. Absolute genius. You're a star. You've been great. Fantastic to speak to you in depth. I look forward to crossing paths with you again soon, buddy, whether it be down in Surrey or the West Country. But good luck against Sri Lanka, mate. You're going to have a superb series, I think, and try and get your first.
Look after
first
Popey.
50.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
Lovely.
What a boy. Yeah. First time you've
Seems
spoken.
like quite a mature 20-year-old. What do you reckon? You've got first-hand experience, Jack.
Yeah, definitely grounded. A little bit naive as a young lad would be at times, but I mean, he's just a beauty. What you see is what you get with Bash. Very funny man. Just an unbelievable teammate. Great bloke to have in your environment.
Yeah.
Just can't speak highly enough of him and his cricket. I mean, he's made an England debut at 1920. You've got to be special, haven't you, to play international cricket at that young age? So he's going to be hopefully a superstar for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm chuffed to bits that he came on because he's had such a busy summer and a bit of a whirlwind. There's been a lot going on for him. He's not done much media, so
we've been lucky
much.
to get who we've got on, haven't we? We've had plenty of England players from either side.
Podcast.
So
big podcast,
I
don't
know.
we?
Must just really like us, Jack. We must be.
We've got a lot of people. I think we've done a lot of digging. There's a lot of blackmail going on.
Exhausted.
And we've also got a lot of feedback
Anyway.
this week as well. We got some feedback. Do you want to start us?
Yeah, I got a big one here. Hello, Jack and Katherine. Any reason you are doing only 26 episodes? Will be nice if you do an episode with just the two of you, sharing your experiences of your first summer post-retirement and answering all the under-the-lid stuff, including a NAF quiz playoff. Is that between me and you?
Wow.
Oh,
sounds
hell
like
no.
it. Our producers are going to have to get stuck in with that, but I think...
No way, I am not anywhere near a badger. You'd win that hands down.
Well, it depends on the questions, doesn't it? Just you either know them or you don't. I'm sure you know enough about your own career. You haven't got a memory like Bash. You forget everything.
I have to write things down on a daily basis. it's a bad... I hope this is not a sign of things to come, but, it's not the greatest memory I've ever had.
Maybe I might beat you on the quiz then, unless you're just playing it down. But yeah, we could do that. I mean, she also says only 26 episodes. That's a bloody lot of episodes, by the way. And we've only got 6 more to go because we're getting near the end of the season. But I'm sure we can do one just between ourselves and having a bit of a laugh about our career and what we've been up to. I'm sure we can do something.
Yes. It's nice to hear people.
The crowd want it.
Stuff about us.
We're here to please the crowd, aren't we? Okay, and we had another one from Jack, who is not me. Under the Lid has become my favourite podcast to listen to on my dog walks. Love the banter and chat between you both, and the episodes are getting slicker with every passing week. Thank you very much. The variety of guests great, and I've learned so much about the women's game and the pathways and journeys of some of them have had. So have I. I would love for you to get an umpire on the show. I reckon they'd have had some great stories from stood behind the stumps. It would be great to learn about how they got there and all the quirky mannerisms that they seem to have. To be honest, that could be quite a good one. Whether it be an old school one with a lot of stories that would be amazing that don't happen anymore, or a modern one.
They must have heard some. They must have heard some shit by the stumps. surely.
Yeah, I reckon between us
All the best banter.
we can get someone on. I reckon I can delve in. A few of my ex-teammates are now umpires, so I'm sure we can get
Yeah,
someone on.
coffee.
That could be a good one, actually, an umpire special.
Yeah.
On that subject, did each of you have a favourite umpire? Did you go on the charm offences with them and get the most LBW decisions you could, or were you constantly falling out with them? And also, did either of you ever consider taking up umpiring after retiring? I did get asked it a few times, and it is a very good career. And also, you only work half the season for very good money, half the summer,
Yeah.
half the year for good money.
Yeah.
But you're away from home a lot, and I'm not sure I've got the patience, personality, or interest actually in being an umpire. Favourites,
A lot of people would.
to be honest, I quite enjoyed
go on.
most of the ones on the circuit over the years. They're all just good people. People make mistakes. I'll never hold it really against them. Always try to be quite friendly and chatty with them and have good relationships. I don't really remember any outstandingly bad ones or stinking blokes or anything like that, but I definitely didn't consider doing it, to be honest with you. I don't think it was for me. I couldn't stand it. At least when you're playing, you get time off your feet and you can go and wander around or sleep or something, whereas you're out there the whole time.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't do it, because I think my back, when I used to stand in the field fielding, if I wasn't getting much action, I would stiffen up like a board so quick. Oh, it's hard just to because I've got that natural arc in the bottom of my back where my butt sticks right out, and so I have to curl in. I'd be like umpiring like this.
It also, I reckon we'd both be right. Let's get this game moving forward. Throwing out triggers and triggering all over the shop.
Lush. No, I didn't have any favourites either. I think everybody hated me because before I even turned up, they'd just go, "Mind your language, Bronte. There's a stump mic on," and I'd be like, "Well, tell them to turn it off.
Yeah,
no one needs to hear. It's it's between me and the batsman." But yeah, they just always assumed the worst from me. I think some loved the passion and the fire and just bantered me with it, and some really didn't like it. But I'm all right with that. As long as you're fair, and I was always polite and respectful. I know how to respect my elders. But no, I didn't. No actual favourites. I did come across this one. I forgot his name now. Bow. What's his name? And
Billy Bowden.
And that actually was very entertaining. It was a bit of an entertainment. Bring him back. We need some more quirky umpires, don't we?
As long as they make the right decisions, I don't give a shit, to be honest. Thanks for both those comments from Jack and Arshia. Fantastic. We will definitely not be taking up umpiring though. So that is us for this week. We will get another fantastic guest lined up for you next week. It could be anyone. It could be male, female, could be an umpire, could be a player, could be a retired player. We will see who we can get. But please get in touch with us with some more feedback at #underthelid or email us at hello_underthelid.co.uk. Please subscribe, leave a review, tell your friends, big us up wherever you go. Thanks very much.
Lovely. See you later, guys.
Bye!